Hello everybody, this is the one and only Mr. LP Steven Sykes, host of ENLIVEN Radio, part of Legacy Internet Radio. And I have a beautiful guest, part of our empowerment series with women, and we try to have all types of different guests and make things happy for you. And we have the lovely
Aisha Gaptoothdiva Horns.
Aisha Gaptoothdiva Horns.
Yes.
This is making it hard on me.
How?
How are you doing today?
I am fabulous. Thank you so much for asking.
No problem. How did you get the name Gaptoothdiva?
Because I am a Gaptoothdiva.
Oh, I just wanted to know anything. I didn't want mom get mad at you and things like that. That's not happening.
Yeah, that's how it happened. I mean, everybody says I'm such a diva, and
You're such a diva.
And it's obvious that I'm Gaptooth.
Okay, no problem. Now, before we go, what's your definition of a diva?
My definition of a diva is a woman who is ladylike, who is classy, but she's a boss. She wants what she wants. She does what she needs to do to get it. She's fabulous and phenomenal.
Okay, does what she wants to get it. Nothing scandalous, right?
No, nothing scandalous.
Okay.
But she will read you.
Yeah, she will read you. Okay, she'll put hands on you.
No,
okay.
She gets people to do that for her.
Oh, she got people to do that for her?
Yeah.
But if time comes, you can handle it.
Oh, yeah, I can get my fingernails dirty.
Okay, that's not a problem. I want to pay the fingernail bill. Okay, you got the fingernails. See, we're going to hold up the hands. She got the nails done and everything. She's doing it all up and everything. No problem. So where are you from?
I'm originally from Queens, New York, but I've been in Richmond for quite some time.
Quite some time, okay. So you really hated New York and you decided to come to Richmond?
No, actually, I only came here because my parents moved us
Your
here.
parents moved. Oh, okay, no problem. I try to get people in trouble.
Yeah, no, I love New York and I love Virginia.
Okay, not a problem.
Not equally, but it doesn't matter.
You know what? Everybody says that here. I don't understand anything. You can survive, but you make it.
Yeah.
Okay, not a problem. What do you like the most about Richmond?
The blossoming culture.
The blossoming culture. Keyword blossoming.
The blossoming culture. The just now happening culture.
Just now happening. Okay. But it only became because you were here.
Everywhere I am is the place to be.
Okay, not a problem.
It's called confidence.
There we go. What do you think Richmond could use?
More diversity.
More diversity.
Legitimate, valid, obvious to the naked eye diversity.
Or how about acceptance?
Yes.
Okay.
Support.
Support. Okay. Not a problem.
And ambition.
Ambition. That's the one thing I see, that regardless of culture, the ambition.
Yeah.
People that have ambition here.
I think people are motivated to do what other people are doing, not so much motivated to do what really is their purpose and what they're passionate about. And in exchange of that, I think that they're quick to tear each other down because they have not yet found themselves.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? And I think we need more support, more empowering of each other, and just, telling each other that you're doing great. And I see what
Help lift everybody up.
Absolutely.
Stop the crab in the barrel.
Absolutely. I only like crabs in the summertime.
Okay.
on my table.
On your table, so I can come to your house?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I'm going to hold that to her, everybody. I say June, May is what? June, July, June, sometime.
Yeah, I'll put you on my calendar.
Put you on the calendar.
Yeah.
Okay. You see, I ain't sharing with anybody else. It's just supposed to be me and you. We're going to have some crabs.
No. We gotta share with everybody else. The kids gotta eat.
Okay,
the team has to eat.
Okay, the kids and the team. Okay, that's fine. Okay, I just want to make the kids. We gotta feed the kids.
Yeah.
Do we have to?
Yeah.
Okay.
And you can't come empty-handed.
Oh, that's no problem. I bring stuff. That's no problem. I bring drinks. I bring snacks. Whatever you tell me.
You be bringing everything.
I'll be bringing everything but the crab.
But the crab.
And myself.
Yes.
And at Legacy Internet Radio.
Exactly.
Okay. Cool. So, what other things are you gotten yourself into since you've been in Virginia? What ways did you come to Virginia?
I came to Virginia when I was little.
Little, okay.
Yes, very young. So I went to school here.
Okay, what high school did you go to?
Huguenot High School.
Huguenot, okay. So we're gonna surprise everybody. So you went actually to the good Richmond High School.
You think so?
That's what a lot of people like.
It didn't seem good when I was there.
Oh.
It was ratchet. No, I'm just joking. I love Huguenot.
Oh boy. There goes your diploma.
Yeah. No, I got it. It's already. I can say that
the principal would be like knocking on the door, give you that diploma back, please.
I was terrible back then, though.
Oh, you was a bad girl?
Yes,
How
I was
were
a
you
bad girl.
Why, you had too much attitude, or you just fought, or what did you do?
All of the above. I fought a lot. I had a lot of mouth. I said whatever I wanted to say. I was just all over the place.
Did you get beat a lot, parents?
Beat?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
And then that didn't work?
No. That's why I was like that. Because I was getting beat a lot. It was a lot going on at home, so I took it out on school.
Okay, not a problem. Okay, no problem. But you came out all right.
Yeah. I changed my life around.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
I found God.
Yeah.
I found some confidence, some act right.
I don't think you didn't have the confidence problem if you was speaking.
No, I had a confidence problem back then. I was very insecure. I suffered from depression and stuff like that a lot. So I changed my life around when I turned, 20 something and had a child and got married and everything.
A couple of years ago.
Yes. You took a shot shade.
I just say
a couple of years ago.
You said 20 something, so I was thinking.
I'm in my late 20s.
Okay, cool. Congratulations. That's not a problem. Being proud of your age.
Yeah.
And I tell my you know how this whole misconception of women age and all this stuff. I'm with my grandma on this. Be proud of whatever.
Yeah, I'm proud of my age. I went through a lot in such a short amount of time, so I'm looking forward to getting older because now I've got all these lessons. Most of them out the way.
So you said you're married and have children. Yes. You got us to give a shout out to them.
Yes. Shout out to my big, huge husband and my beautiful sons.
Okay. Not a problem. How many sons you have? Two. Are they grown yet?
No, 6 and 1.
6 and 1. Oh,
yeah.
Okay. So you got the gun out to keep the ladies off of them yet?
I don't need a gun to keep the ladies off. It's, my mind, I will really...
They like, oh, we ain't coming over here.
Yeah, okay. This girl's already calling my house and knocking on my door. Oh. My 6-year-old son. It's very disturbing. It's very disturbing.
What he be doing?
Huh?
What he be doing?
He's just a charmer. I think he wants to be an R&B artist or something when he gets older. He's a crooner. Likes to sing R&B songs.
Can we stick to Jet House Rock or something for a little bit? Get a Muppets or something. PBS, anything, Sprout.
He used to be like that, but since he turned 6, he feels a little grown.
A little grown, okay.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Oh God.
Just pray for me. That's all
I will pray. We're gonna have that talk. Lord Jesus, just keep this kid out of trouble and things like that. We won't get to high school with no children.
No children.
Okay.
I would castrate him before that.
Good mother. Good mother. So what? When you started, what kind of gets you out of the depression mode and things like that as you enter more adulthood?
Well, it actually was going on in adulthood. In my early 20s, like when I first turned 20, before I had my son, I was still going through it. Even after I had him, when I was 23, I was still going through it. This transformation didn't occur for me until about 2011, 2012. So very recently that it occurred. But prior to that, I was in the hospital all the time. I was self-mutilating, I was depressed, I was taking, any type of prescription drugs, street drugs, whatever, just to numb all these emotions that I was feeling. And if it wasn't for my husband basically putting a Bible in my hand and telling me to pray and to go to church and stuff like that, I would have never found God, nor would I found myself. It was a process.
It was a process. What do you feel that, well, let me ask you this, backtrack a little bit. Did you suffer through postpartum as well?
Yeah.
And the hospitals or other groups were they able to help you then, or were you not ready to receive it at that time?
Early on, it's a combination of both. Not only was I not ready to receive it, I felt as though I was being shuffled through the system. Okay. I went to the hospital so many times for attempted suicide that I kind of knew what to say to get out early. You know what I mean? So it wasn't helping that it was a system that was so easily manipulated.
Was that because of you being a woman, you being a black woman, you being
I think it was a factor of me being a young black woman. Early on I didn't have the career that I have now, so insurance wasn't a factor and stuff like that. And I think they just gave me medication and sent me on my way. One time they just put me in a cab and sent me home. after I begged and begged to get out, and I had just tried to kill myself, like 2 or 3 hours.
That's disturbing.
Yeah, it's very disturbing, and it's an issue in our community that we're not talking about.
See, that's one of the things I've brought up on our show several times is the mental health, the PTSD, all those different things. That's really hurting the community.
It's
very much.
Exactly, it's very much hurting the community. I mean, we don't talk about post-traumatic stress disorder, which is something that I suffered from childhood. We don't talk about postpartum, which people don't even, think about the fact that a lot of young women, especially young women who have children, they feel some type of way. They suffer from depression after having a baby. And these are factors that I've experienced, and I know firsthand how hard it is, especially when you feel crazy. And in the Black community, you don't want to talk about mental illness and taking Zoloft and
all these different things, because there are people who need it, but at the same time, we need to help each other, regardless of whoever, help each other to get themselves out. That's what's needed. What do you think that you needed that was missing growing up before you got into the depression? Because you mentioned that you suffered through this through high school and college and things like that. What do you feel you needed at that time through, I guess, middle school, high school, or whatever, to prevent you from going through these things?
The only thing I can think of, it was compassion. I think if I had, and I don't want to blame them, but if I had the love of my mom, my dad, that empowering support, I probably would have done a lot better, I think. A lot of things that I was angry about was because I lacked family. People to really push you and to say, I love you. I recently talked to someone I did an interview with, and they said they told their daughter every day, I see you, I love you, I believe in you. And I kind of I automatically felt a pain because I've never had that. Both my parents lived in my house my entire life, but neither one of them ever stopped and said, Aisha, you can do whatever it is that you want to do, or Aisha, you're talented. My father wouldn't even describe me as pretty, He would tell my sisters they were pretty. They were lighter and had longer hair. But to me, I had to be smart, and that's all I had. So the fact that I grew up in a family that made me feel less than, made me go out into the world and believe I was less than. So I just said,
forget it.
Yeah, so much worse.
And I'm gonna do whatever. Wild out, do whatever and everything.
Because I just thought it was a lost cause. And in my mind, I honestly didn't think I was gonna make it past 25. So I was just trying to make the process go quicker. I really wanted to die. I was done. I looked at myself and I knew if I wasn't worth my own mother and father loving me to the point that I didn't have to be like this, then I didn't want to live.
What will you say now as you got into adulthood? What are some of the things that you try to encourage your young boys and things like that, of course, compassion and things like that, but now that you're seeing coming from a different perspective, another generation, 25, 27 years later, what are you telling your young boys now to help get them? Because now the hunt is on, men and women.
Yeah.
But for young men, because of all the different things that's out there, just to throw the game on, you can get in trouble at 4 years old for the rest of your life, and they try to hang it on you. What are some of the things that you're doing as a mother to try to help prevent that?
It's very different because, we grew up in a household with all girls. I kind of wish I had a daughter. But what I tell my sons is that they're gorgeous. I let them know that they're gorgeous, they're handsome. I tell my son that he's smart, he can do whatever he needs to do to practice, to really hone in on what you want to do now since you're so young. I support him. I'm always encouraging him and showing him how I do things. And that's how the whole Gaptoothdiva thing came into play, is because I wanted to set an example. When he comes home with a woman, I want him to see the kind of woman he needs to come home with.
So he's gonna be a mama's boy and little.
No, I'm just trying to set an example and let him know what kind of woman, how women's supposed to act, how they're supposed to carry themselves. And what I want him to see is that mommy always went hard. She made it her own way. She didn't wait for somebody to give her something. She created her own. So
you're not gonna get this non-ghetto girl, crazy acting foolish girl up in the house. You ain't gonna allow that. But
no. I mean, I use ghetto too, but
when there's a need.
Yeah, she has a 90-day probationary period. She can't just pull out her. Don't pull out your Keisha.
90-day probationary. Ooh, Jesus. No, I'm always give it 3-year probationary.
I'm trying to be fair. I have a mother-in-law too, so I know how hard that can be.
Okay, gotcha. We will leave that one alone.
Right?
We will leave that one alone. It'll be nice. So now you've got into a career and things. What's some of the type of work that you've done once you got out of high school and things or school?
I used to be a social worker, social services. That really inspired me to want to help the community.
Okay.
At the time that I was doing it, I was really angry as to why, so many of the young women was in the position that they were in. But it took me leaving to realize just how much we're forced to lean on the system or to depend on it just for a hand,
See, the thing I don't understand, and maybe you can help me out. The thing I don't understand, and I've asked many people this question, when it's supposed to be support and then you get the handout, but for whatever reason, I see within the system the level of training they try to help you encourage within some things, but some people that's not expressed publicly as much as we're going to give you this aid, this aid, this aid, or the person is not taking it within themselves. Some people have it within themselves, they just don't want to.
Yeah.
And what's given it a bad name is now everybody don't want to help social services. We just giving them a handout, my taxes going in this, when it's hurting because there may be people in the past, you or I or anybody, that could use the services, but now it's being more difficult. Even as a guy, if I try to get services and aid, the stress level or the difficulty is higher than, let's say, a woman with children or whatever, because of all these assumptions.
Yeah.
Why is the level of encouragement to try to say, okay, we're here, we're going to help you, but we're going to try to help you get off of it and not be on it for life? Why that level of encouragement is not there?
You have a couple of factors that play a part. There are some bad apples in the bunch who don't want to do. And what that does is it creates some type of animosity in certain workers who are not doing it for the right reasons. So therefore, they're just trying to get you out the way. I played both parts. I came in gung-ho, I want to help everybody. I'm going to, give them all the information and show them how they can be self-sufficient and be just like me and work a great job. I was excited. But then time went by, 600 and 700 cases and families every month, and you start to get burnt out, angry, and you're like, look, let me just give you the basic information, go ahead and get off, and then like, why you didn't tell me all this, and why didn't you share this information, and why didn't you train me on this? Because I got 699 more people to talk to.
See, and this is where I get mad, where it's sort of the social services and teaching, especially, and probably a lot of other fields, not to discredit anybody else.
Yeah.
When I think about social services teachers, it's not enough of you.
Exactly.
And then when there is enough, either A, we're laying you off, or B, we're not paying you enough. I feel like I feel like teachers and social services starting out, besides, let's say, New York or some other big city, should start off at 50, 60 grand. I know some people say that's too much, but I don't care, considering the level of work.
Yeah, especially teachers.
And social services, you find yourself spending a lot more money out than what you're getting in. Because not just the driving, but, a child needs something, you're not going to not see that kid without toothbrush or toothpaste or something. So there's a level of compassion within yourself that you're giving out to these people. And it's not getting that enough support from the system overall.
Yeah. I personally feel when I was working there, I was in a different mind state. Some of the things that I was going through while I was working there. But now that I look back on it, I really feel as though that was a perfect opportunity for me to sow seeds, and I didn't utilize it as much. And I don't feel as though people should concern themselves about who's getting the benefits or who they're helping or how many. I don't think people should worry about that, because I'm a spiritual person and I believe in God, and I just feel as though you should just go ahead and put something in there, and don't worry about whether or not it's justified, whether or not they really need it, or if they're lazy or nothing like that. Just bless them.
Yeah, because you
got it.
That's going to come back to you more than tenfold.
Exactly. So don't worry about it. I mean, I see people complain all the time about food stamps and this, that, and the other. So what?
Because you know what? Turn around. A lot of people are 2 steps or a foot in the door from asking, I need some help.
Yeah.
You know, so
just
you never know.
thank God that you're blessed enough to even complain.
Amen.
You know, because I mean, I can't. Everybody can't. Everybody can't. So you can't complain that you're helping. You're blessed, so you can be a blessing.
Exactly.
And that's
what we're here for, just to give, not to take.
Exactly. So don't complain that you have to give to people that you deem is not worthy. That's not your place. Your place is just to give. Don't worry about who's getting it. Because maybe the mother ain't cry, but the kids.
See, and it's not their fault.
Exactly.
And everything. So
people don't think like that. They're just thinking, oh, these welfare chicks in the hood just buying up this and that. But what about that little boy that you're feeding and that just may become the next Barack Obama or something?
Or whatever down the street.
Exactly.
Let me ask you this. So now you moved on, you did a social services thing, and now you got into the career, you're writing a book.
I left social services to work for myself. I write articles for various websites, and I do social media management. In addition to that, I do plus size modeling, and I opened up an online boutique. But I had a book in me for 5 years that I just could never get past my introduction. And it was only because I was concerned about what people were going to think. Because a lot of the things that happened were happening right under people's nose, and nobody knew that I was sitting at my desk at work, high as I don't know what, because I was wanting to die, because I was feeling some type of way. And I'm processing cases and meeting with people, and I'm just
Everybody's going through their own personal hell.
Exactly. I was going through a serious personal hell, and I just didn't know if I wanted to put it out there. And then I don't have family anymore. Like, I don't deal with them. I don't talk to them because a lot of things that occurred. No, it's fine. But I didn't want to ever close that door. And I felt like writing the book was putting a nail in that coffin.
You never know how sometimes things come back around. People change, people grow, prayerfully. And it's just like how you made that change, I'll make that change. A lot of people make that change.
Yeah.
Hopefully, sometimes you find that you have a better relationship as you get older. Sometimes it's worse. But, you know, as the saying goes, never say never.
Exactly.
You have to love people at a distance.
Sometimes
it's a long distance, be like, way out. But at the same time, we never know when people like, oh, you weren't there, just like, because I've learned this lesson. Sometimes even when you people done X, Y, Z to you, even though you still have to, that's them.
Yeah.
You still have to do your part.
Yeah.
And everything else, no matter how many times this,
yeah.
or whatever, verbally, physically, emotionally, or spiritually, whatever they trying to do to you. You still have to play your part, and you may not have to deal with them on an everyday or something basis, but you still have to uphold your end.
Yeah.
Thus, you can't go back and do vengeful things. You can't go back and do X, Y, Z. You can't live with that hate.
Yeah.
All that stuff, that's going to tear you down.
And I felt like I was living with that hate. I felt like I was angry and upset. Like, why couldn't I have this family? Why couldn't I have that support and that love and that encouragement? So by putting this in this book, I felt somehow that I was encouraging other people or trying to motivate them to not be like me and live with that kind of animosity. And since I've let those words go into those chapters, I feel lighter. I feel less heavy and less upset about it.
I know how that is. What's your book about these days?
My book, Flossing Because God Don't Make No Junk, is that story. It talks about me being sexually abused, me being emotionally and physically abused, watching my parents pretty much do drugs and stuff like that and hide it from us. My mom, not giving me that attention and support that I needed from a woman. My father not giving me that attention and support that I needed from a man. Colorism issues that I face being brown skin in my family and being plus size and having a gap, just looking different. My relationships with friends, how I felt about myself affected my relationships with other women. I just had a hard time getting along with other women growing up because of my insecurities, and I dealt with some promiscuity. Like, I was always out there because of the sexual abuse. I thought that's what people wanted.
So you felt like that's what you had to do in order to get that?
I feel like that's all I had to offer to a man because I wasn't attractive. So I felt like all I could do was stuff, you know what I mean? And I really didn't value myself. I really didn't. I mean, a lot of decisions I made was because I was reckless and insecure.
Would you say, did anybody at some point in time reached out to you, middle school, high school, or even in the early days before you got married and things like that? Did anybody reach out to you to help calm down the promiscuity, calm down the drugs, calm down the hate? Anybody?
I call them angels. And I had various people throughout that time that showed up in my life in one form or another, whether they were a teacher or whether it was a friend's mom, you know what I mean, that came into my life and said, you don't have to do this, you know, you're worth more than that, you're more valuable. But my mom would always encourage me not to rely on other people but her, because she didn't want me to mistake someone else for being my mom. So it was really complicated. I never wanted to upset her, so I kind of disregarded the good in people. Yeah.
So what, now you have your book and things like that. What are some of the extra things within the book? You know, it's basically opening up your soul and pouring a lot of things.
And I also give what I call Flawsome Life Improving Principles. They're flips, you know, you take it and you flip.
Give me a couple of them.
Like, if you have a flaw, this is the main one, basically, the overall one. You have a flaw, whether you're gap-toothed, one leg.
Who says it's a flaw?
Exactly. Well, people, society will deem it as a flaw. However, if you're gap-toothed, one leg, one eye, whatever, you be the baddest version of that you can be. Don't let that hinder you. Don't look at it as a flaw. Look at it as flawsome. That someone is looking at you and saying, oh, she's unique. I can say that when people meet me, especially face to face, they never forget my face because of my gap. So that's what makes it from a flaw to flaw.
See, okay. I said I wouldn't think about the gap, to be honest with you. I'm thinking about the personality.
Yeah.
And who you are as a person. What? Give me another flip.
Another flip would be to never let anyone make you an option. One of the chapters I talk about when I was looking for someone to love me was, you know, chasing after my dad. And my dad would not, he just wouldn't come. We lived under the same roof. Most kids, like, don't know their father, never, you know, or they don't live with their father, they only see him once in a while. I see my father every single day, and he was like an absentee dad to me.
So it's just the same.
Yeah.
Was you trying to find somebody, well, let me ask you this, you have a husband now.
I do.
What image did you look for in your ideal of a husband, since you did not have that role model from him?
The opposite of everything that I do.
Okay.
I wanted, my dad is a short little half Dominican man and a little skinny man, and I wanted a big black man to be the opposite of what I saw every day.
Hey, watch the short part. I'm gonna let you know, watch the short part.
I'm just saying, he was just, you know, I wanted him to physically not remind me of my father.
Okay. No problem. So what are some of the things that your husband brings to the table? Well, see, I know he's obviously supportive of the diva aspect. He puts up with it and things.
Yes. What do you say, put up?
I get the impression that he just smiles and goes along.
No, he tells me, like, that's my best friend. Okay. That's my very best friend. Been with him since I was 13.
Okay.
Yeah, so we've been just rocking it just all this time. And he is compassionate. You catching me on a really weird day because we just had a little tip in the car.
Yeah, let's get there. What he did not do.
You know, you hate giving somebody a compliment when you're mad at them, but he is really a great friend, a great person, and he's very supportive. And what I can say about my husband that a lot of women say that they wish they had was that whatever I want, whether he got 2 pennies to scratch together, he will get it for me. He is a go hard kind of guy. Very supportive, and even if my idea is outlandish and ridiculous, he will be there cheering me on. That's just the kind of person.
And then he'll just sit back and just like, okay.
No, he never lets me fall on my face.
Okay,
but he does support some of the crazy things that I've done, especially leaving a great job, paying lots of money to pursue things.
But you know what? It's not necessarily lots of money. It's what makes you happy.
Exactly.
That's what's going to keep you going through the rich and poor times if you don't love what you're doing.
Exactly.
Okay. So now you got, what else is going on with the Gaptoothdiva Enterprise? You got your book, you public speak, and what else some things you do?
Well, we still have the online vintage and thrift boutique, which we have some awesome t-shirts coming out with the book.
Where's my t-shirt?
They're girl t-shirts.
What? Says an interview over. We got where's the shirt for the guys? See, we try to help out, be supportive. See, I'm gonna make this clarification. I'm a guy that's trying to be supportive of women businesses, and what do we get?
You get some lipstick.
Can I give you? I could have made some chapstick, something, some nail lotion, something.
I could probably think of something, but we do have a male t-shirt.
Okay. Where is it?
It's going to be displayed at the event this weekend.
Okay.
So you'll see it on my husband.
Okay. Can I get one?
You have to ask him.
I have to ask him.
He's in charge of the mail department.
He's in charge of the mail department. I'm gonna sit here and say, your wife said, give me a t-shirt.
Yeah, you can do that.
Okay. Well, give it to me then.
I don't know. I can't say.
I just need you to write. I write down my size. I'll text you my size. I wear a 2X, 1X,
okay.
something like that.
Okay. Well, that's good because he wears a 4X.
No.
So we have that size.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So you have t-shirts, and what else are the items you have with you?
We have new lipstick coming out, the Blossom Spring Packs, with 4 awesome spring colors that I've personally selected, and I collaborated with My Girl Cosmetics for that.
What other colors?
They're pink, which is pretty, orange is social, nude is chic, and yellow is blessed.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
I feel so girly talking to you about lipstick.
That's not a problem. It's not a problem. Girls don't come over here all the time to be girly. It's not a problem. As long as you're having fun.
Yeah.
So now we got the lipstick, we got all these other products and everything else. Now you have an event coming up.
I do. April 5th from 5 to 9 we'll be at Infusion. It's hosted by 106.5 The Beat, Mike Street, and Ray Newberry. And it's going to be a big launch for the brand, the Flossom brand. It's not just books, lipstick, and t-shirts. It's really a movement. Mm-hmm. My goal is to really inspire people to love themselves for who they are, to take their past and turn it into fuel for their future, and to just rock out awesomely. Take whatever happened to you and use it. That those challenges, those obstacles, all those tribulations are exactly what you need to get a message across. Because I feel like we're all blessed to be a testament to how great God is.
Awesome. Now, is there a movie being made out of this book yet?
There is a book trailer right now. Okay. But no, not movie? Right now.
Do I get a part of the movie when you do get it?
You could probably be my dad. I'm just joking.
I was hoping I get to be the passionate boyfriend from school or something, the rich lawyer, the political guy, something. I get to be the abusive guy.
The abusive father.
I'll tell you. Oh, shit. What?
I'm sorry.
That's all right. That's all right. I gotta start somewhere. I gotta beat women and get a roll. What's coming up in the next year for Miss Gaptoothdiva?
What's coming up is we're continuing with the Gaptoothdiva show. We are doing a whole lot of speaking engagements, and we have a reality show coming up that we're getting ready to do. I'm not going to give any details about that.
Oh, but when you do, you're going to come to ENLIVEN Radio, right?
I will definitely share that with you.
First.
Okay.
Just, if I got to be the abusive father, I got to get something out of it.
Are you going to beat it out of me?
No. See, you're really the fight. So I'm not trying to go through all of that. All these colors all over my skin.
Then we're also doing workshops. We have the Camp Diva Summer Program that I'm very interested in getting involved in. And part of the proceeds from this event is going to Camp Diva as well. Because I really love what they're doing over there.
So what's going on with Camp Diva?
Girls for a Change and Camp Diva have collaborated. And they're really working with young women, building self-esteem, teaching them about STEM programs, which is science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. They're teaching them about entrepreneurship and self-sufficiency and loving themselves and staying drug and sex-free, hopefully. And it's amazing. And I wish I had something like that when I was younger. At 8 years old, that would have been just what I needed. so I really value stuff like that because I remember being young and wanting big sisters and mentors and all that.
People to be there for you.
Exactly. I just not really being there for me, but more so guiding me in the right direction and saying, Aisha, you don't have to do this. Aisha, you are beautiful. Aisha, you are talented. And you need that. Young people need that because when they get older, they don't have it. They turn into bitter people who do bitter things and kind of take it out on their own children. And that's what I want this book is for people to look at it and say, okay, well, I need to show my daughter she's beautiful. And I need to keep men away from her that are trying to use her for sexual reasons. And I need to encourage her to go after what I never knew I was this talented until a couple of years ago.
Oh God,
praise God
that you realize it now.
Yeah.
And you finding out more about yourself.
Exactly.
What would you tell we'll do it this way. What would you tell the 14-year-old Aisha Gaptoothdiva?
First of all, I would tell her, put that blunt down and pull your pants up.
Blunt down, pull the pants up, what else?
Get all that crazy stuff off of you. Like, I was very just out there. So I would tell her that she is beautiful. And I would tell her that if she really sat down and thought about it, she has a purpose. To keep writing. I stopped writing for a while because I was so depressed and high that I stopped writing, and I would have told her to keep writing. She would have been on her third book by now. And I would tell her that if someone really loves you, you wouldn't have to lay down to get it. You know what I mean? And to keep that Bible open. That was something that, my husband taught me how to read the Bible, but I didn't keep the lesson until a couple of years ago. It was like in and out, because I felt unworthy. And that's one thing, is you are worth it. Everything, you are worth it. You're worth respect, you're worth love, you're worth honesty. And that's something that I didn't know back then.
Amen. What would you say to a young girl who walks through this door right now, who's, she's just going through it, who's just recently raped or going through some type of different situation right now, 21 years old, crying, and sees the sight of me, and not because of anything I've done, but just men, period. And there's always that anger and things like that. It's always offered that helping hand, just that fire because of all what's happened, because there's nothing else left but to lash out. What would you tell to that young girl right now?
Can I pray with you? Period. That's it. Let's pray. Let's get our praise on. That's it. That's all. Because I'm just not afraid to say that. I know a lot of people don't want to talk about religion, don't want to talk about spirituality for whatever reason, but that is why I'm here.
Amen.
You know what I mean? God is the reason why I'm able to write this book. God is the reason why I'm able to look this fly. It's by the grace of God. It's nothing else. I don't have a whole lot. All I got is faith. So at the end of the day, I want to encourage people that that's what you need. Period.
Amen. Amen. Well, young lady, you got a lot of wonderful things, and I thank you so very much for letting us know, because I've been enriched in ENLIVEN and a whole bunch of different things.
Thank you.
So thank you so very much. I know I got a part of his abusive father coming up my way, so I'll try to be angry and mean and everything else. It's not within my nature, but I'll try what I can.
I'm sorry. At least you're not a part. Even Denzel played a drug dealer.
You got an Oscar for that too.
Exactly.
I don't understand that. Of all the things he done, you get an Oscar for it.
Monique was an abusive mother,
so the only way black people get the Oscar
is if we're beating up somebody or snorting some coke,
or you're doing crazy sex scenes,
or we're retarded,
you got to be broke up their face. We can't be the distinguished young black man trying to make it up to the community.
You have to be disabled, drug addicts, or abusive.
Sexual. I looked at how the birds roll. Oh my gosh, this is crazy.
Yeah.
Let me give you a couple of choices here.
Okay.
Workplace. First off, Android or Apple?
Android?
Okay, go ahead, girl. Leave that Apple mess alone. Okay. Favorite state besides New York and Virginia?
DC.
That's state, not a territory. Come on now.
District of Columbia.
Not a district. Come on. Let's do a little bit better.
Okay.
You did finish school.
Florida.
Okay, Florida.
Don't do that. I'm trying to think, because you done said something negative about Atlanta, so I was like.
How many states we have?
50.
Okay, I just wanted to check.
I'm blonde, not stupid.
I did. Just ask. Favorite color besides pink?
Black.
Oh, okay. Favorite person that you admire out there?
Oprah. Beyonce.
Beyonce?
Beyonce and Oprah.
Beyonce and Oprah.
They had a baby and made me. I'm just sorry.
Oh, God. What is one law you wish they would change out there? Actually, I'll give you 3. What are 3 laws you wish they could change out there?
I think everybody should go through the uncomfortable agony of being married. No, I'm just joking. I think everybody should be able to get married. Doesn't matter whether or not they're gay or straight. I think that sexual offenders should get the chair.
Okay.
Period.
Okay.
I don't think they should get out. I don't think they should be able to live in society.
What do you think about some of the situations, like a lot of days you have a 18 dating a 16-year-old and they get sex offended, or you see people, it's unfortunately.
That's very different because my husband was he's a couple of months older than me. Mm-hmm. So when he was 18, I was still 17.
Right.
And that's a different situation.
But see, that's what I wanted to clarify, because there's a lot of situations like somebody could be drunk or just whip behind the building. Some women who park in the car driver and puts them in jail because he was using the bathroom behind the building.
No, I'm talking about adults, not just men, because women do this too. I'm talking about adults who sexually abuse children that they know are not capable of making that decision. I'm not talking about an 18 and a 17-year-old. I'm talking about a grown man messing with children.
Gotcha.
Period.
Gotcha. All right, what's your third law?
I don't know. I pass on them.
Okay. Favorite city, if you could travel overseas, where would you go?
I want to go to Africa.
Favorite book besides your own Bible?
Fly Girl by Omar Tyree.
Fly Girl. Favorite movie?
Crooklyn. Color Purple.
Crooklyn, Color. Okay. No problem. I was thinking Color Purple.
Crooklyn is that's my movie.
Favorite actress?
Kerry Washington.
Favorite actor?
Idris Elba. You see how I said that?
Idris Elba. Oh, Idris Elba. Is it because of accent or because he's just?
Because he's just fun. No, Kevin Spacey. I like Kevin Spacey.
Kevin Spacey. Okay,
yes.
That's a very good actor. Very good. If you could, what would you see yourself, let's say, doing at 50?
At 50? On some new beach. No, I'm just living. At 50, I'll be on a boat somewhere, living life.
All right. No.
Throwing champagne bottles at my servants.
So you got a little Naomi Campbell in you. Give me my drink.
No, I be happy at 50.
Okay, you'll be happy at 50. Okay, I want to see, we're going to do this interview again at 50.
At 50?
Play the tape.
Yes.
And let me see how it goes. How can people contact you?
They can go to my website, which is Gaptoothdiva.com. They can follow me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram at Gaptoothdiva. You can Google GAPTOOTHDIVA.
Okay, slow it down for those, so we can understand. You cannot talk fast, but
Gaptoothdiva, GAPTOOTHDIVA. It's one word. The only space is between my teeth.
Okay.
All right.
No problem.
you gotta end it like that. You okay?
You just smack it up back up. That's great. Now, let me cross you with one way or another. Okay. But thank you very kindly.
Thank you, sir. I had a good time.
The pleasure is mine, and I will see you Saturday.
Yes, you will be at the event.
Okay, with my T-shirt. Oh, you also have members of your team.
Yes.
Who else would work with you, by the way, of your team besides your husband?
My husband, I have my social media director, Lisa Hall, and I have my assistant, Shania Brooks.
Hey, Shania.
And
Lisa.
you actually offered her a job,
Yes, I did. Yeah, I'm trying to, you know, we
just recruiting everybody.
Hey, that's just how it is. Everybody can do multiple things.
Gotcha. Okay.
You know, she can be with me.
Okay. You trying to steal my employees?
See, you call it stealing. I call it utilizing what's around you.
Okay, well, let's see your benefits package. What are you offering her?
Me.
Oh. Well, that's the case. Well.
What do you expect? ENLIVEN Radio.
Yeah.
I am Mr. LP. Part of LegacyInternetRadio.com. But, you know, we try to behave ourselves here. But, you know, we can do a variety of it.
They jacket employees over here.
Well, you know, see, it's called when you move on. You see, we're on the unilateral path.
Oh, so you stealing employees?
No, it's not a stealing employee.
You're a headhunter. Basically.
I'm going to keep my mouth on that one because it's going a direction that's way off the plane. And I'm trying to keep it back here, straight in the face. But no, we try to utilize resources around us to help encourage everybody to blossom.
Gotcha. Can you stay out of my employee pool?
Well, the only reason why I came to your employee
valuable people are hard to find.
Exactly, that's why I came to you. You know, actually, the thing is, I'm one of those guys that want to share the glory.
Gotcha.
So that's why I go around to good people.
I'm stingy.
Like I said, is there going to be food at your event?
Absolutely, in the VIP section.
Do I get in the VIP section?
You can get some food.
I can get some food. Do I have to pay?
No.
Okay, thank you. I can get something out.
I hate people do that. They put you on the spot, ask you questions on camera, you'll have to pay.
Exactly. I need something. You know, I'm getting skinny here. I need some
You do not have to pay.
Okay, thank you.
Unless you want to drink alcohol, that's your problem. But they're giving away samples. Absolute is sponsoring the event.
Absolute sponsoring.
And they have 4 signature cocktails in the same colors as the lipstick. It's really exciting. And then Absolute girls are going to be walking around.
Absolute girls. How come you can be an absolute girl as well?
No, I can't. I'm diva.
Okay.
I'm sorry. You just demoted me.
No, I did not demote you.
No shade to the Absolute girl.
I demote you. I was just adding you along to the flavor.
No, we have Flossom dolls too.
Oh, Flossom dolls.
Models are going to be walking around with t-shirts and lipstick.
Cool.
So a lot of ladies.
Oh, okay. I just will be.
Beautiful women.
Okay, cool. We're going to be.
I like to surround myself around beautiful people.
Okay, that's good. Am I a beautiful person?
Don't do that.
I just asked.
Look. I'm going to ask my husband.
I see, you know, I don't need that opinion from him at this moment. So you just carry me along the river.
No, I didn't.
Dump me into James River.
I can't tell you that. That's what my husband's supposed to tell me.
You just say he's a nice, attractive young man. That could have been
You are a nice, attractive young man.
Thank you.
There you go.
All right.
I believe in you.
I'm going to need some therapy sessions after this. Thank y'all very much for Miss Aisha Gaptoothdiva Horn.
Thanks for having me.
And we appreciate everybody for listening and joining this video. Make sure you check out all our wonderful interviews on our YouTube page for Legacy Internet Radio and also ENLIVEN Radio. And check out ENLIVEN Radio Tuesdays from 7 to 9 on LegacyInternetRadio.com. Have a blessed day, everybody. Bye-bye.
Okay, so everyone is not going to like you. They're not going to think you're pretty. They're not going to like the clothes that you wear or the things that you're saying. Everybody is not going to like who you are. What you bring to the table does not matter to most people. Some people will call you ugly. They'll say you're fat. You have no business doing what you're doing because you are not that chick or that dude. But it doesn't matter because you own it. Whatever they say, you own that. Fine. Yes, I got a gap. Yes, I'm plus size. Yes, I'm in whatever situation you want to say, but I own it. It's about confidence. It's about what you see in the mirror and what you feel about that image. Your reflection, what you bring to the table, your talent, your je ne sais quoi, it's how you feel about it. Flossom isn't about what they say about you. It's what you say about you. You recognize that you're imperfect. You have some blemishes. You have some scars. You have a past. You have some things that you went through that you overcame. But damn if you ain't still here. It's not about, oh, we're just fabulous and we're amazing. No, we persevere. We survived. We overcame. And we are still standing. That's what it is. I've been hurt. I've hurt. I've been wronged. I've wronged. I've made mistakes. I've sinned and been sinned against. I am still here. Flossom is like I look in the mirror and I don't see ugly. What you talking about? I look in the mirror, I don't see too big to do this and too poor to do this. I look in the mirror and I see a blessing. A life that was a gift to me. A child of God. Something that God found worthy enough to just keep on blessing. Flossom is power. It's saying that although I may not have the best of circumstances, I made the best of it. Glory to God. Flossom is the idea that they can't take this away from me. I've came so far that they can't take this back. That no weapon formed against me shall prosper. No matter what you say, I've overcame it. Yeah, that used to be me in the past, but that no longer is me. Flossom is an attitude. It's an attitude. It's like, I'm a different person. I'm not that person you used to know. I don't do those kind of things anymore. I don't speak that negative, those limiting ideas anymore. I speak life. I am life. I am blessed. Flossom is beautiful. It's looking at those flaws. It's looking at your circumstances and saying, if this is where I'm at now, I can't wait to see what happens when them blessings start coming in. Because it only gets better from here. Flossom is the mentality that what limits most people, what limits them, those basics, those people who think like that, it's just concocting new ideas for me. I survived. And I'm not done. Just wait. It's a movement. My story, the things that I had to overcome, things that I had to get through, the feelings I had about myself, and how I really came from the bottom.
Lost, empty, a heart with no beat, a singer with no song to sing. So I know the feeling. The silence is down.
It was hard coming up and having the feelings that I had about myself. I didn't love myself at all, and it made it very hard to love other people.
So keep walking, 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 though it seems so far.
We all go through something. We all have to overcome circumstances to become better people. And through a relationship with God and a better relationship with yourself, you too can overcome anything and be exactly who you want to be.
But you must believe that it gets better, 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 better. It's alright, try your eyes, send a prayer to the sky. I know it's hard to find, listen to me. I know you're scared, your heart's bleeding.
When I was growing up, as a little girl, struggling with low self-esteem, no confidence, and self-destructive behavior, I could never look up and find not one person that understood what I was going through. I could never look up and see one person who understood the struggles, the trials, and the tribulations that I face every single day.
Life, it can leave you so bitter, 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 bitter. But you must believe that it gets better, 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 better. It's alright, try your eyes, send a prayer to the sky. I know it's hard to find, but you must believe that it gets better.
That God created this. So no matter what you criticize, God made this. And I am who I am, and no one can take that away from me.
Cried out every night, looking for a helping hand. That's when it happened. Jesus took me and he held me close.
It's for anyone who struggled with self-doubt. Anyone who's ever hated themselves, hated life, hated where they are, and they really just wanted to change.
I know that, yeah. Life, it can leave you so bitter, 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 bitter. But you must believe that it gets better, better, better. Yeah. Life, it can leave you so bitter.
You become delivered and healed with the love of God and the love for yourself. If it wasn't for God, I would have never found my true purpose. I would have never found myself. So flossing is more than just a movement. It's an attitude. Flossing is an attitude saying, I'm beautiful, and this is who I am. Accept me, flaws and all, or move out of my way, and nobody can stop me. It's also meant to transform lives in a positive way. I had to put my testimony out there in order for people to understand that although I'm flawed, I am awesome. And it's with Flossom that I plan to inspire people to live their life abundantly, loving themselves unconditionally, and having faith greater than they can ever imagine. No matter where they are in their lives, no matter what they look like, no matter how much money they have in the bank, you are amazingly flawsome, because God don't make no junk.